Karthus first pick. The rushing Karthus. Alright, so this is going to be 3 AD laners. They're going for Yone. Alright, so I like a pick like Karthus into G2 because you're introducing chaos, right? You're making it so that the game there's a little bit of extra variance and saying like, hey, we might accidentally just blow up this game and like surprise you with upfront damage, right? And that's what they have. They have Leona Misfortune, a classic pairing. Yone can ult in, Karthus can ult at the same time. Aatrox super strong in the top lane. So we'll see what they go from here. We've got the top laner going into Aatrox. Usually Fiora is known as the counter, but Broken Blade's been playing tanks all year, but that could be the reason why you take Aatrox, right? You take Aatrox saying, if you play a tank, I'm just going to stomp you. So does flex into the Fiora. Now, you have an exceptionally weak top side of the map of Fiora Viego. Not much to get done there. Viego does win the fight if he can get the stun off on Karthus. Mandatory that you do, otherwise you die if you dash forward and miss. Then Karthus wins. But if you hit that stun, then you can go, for example, charge the W flash, auto Q, auto R, and gap close on the Karthus, and he can't kite you well enough. But this composition with Yone mid into Zoe. Not many activated items for Zoe to pick up. It's interesting. I like this comp into someone like G2, that they like to get super aggressive. They like to take some risks, not as much as they did in past iterations with caps and perks, obviously. But if they do risk anything, especially Jankos, if he tries to play aggressively, Caps, he tries to play aggressively, then Karthus ult might just steal this game away. Karthus is much more of a scaling champion than he used to be. Level 16, just hits that huge bomb. Presumably he's going to go first strike and just start farming up the gold. At the beginning, it's not that much. You get like 39 gold, then you get 78, then you get 138. Then you start getting massive numbers. Once you're level 11 and you've got 2 items, Shadow Flame and Luden's Echo presumably, or Landry's. Anguish is usually actually the more common one. You get those, and then you're looking at massive amounts of gold, something like 400, 500, and at the end game, you start getting like 700 gold chunks. Obviously, gold devalues as the game goes on, so the 700 gold late is not as good as the 40 gold early. Unless you're just hitting that break point. It's just not worth the extra spending time. So we do have first strike. We've got Order going flash teleport on 2 different champions. Looking to play the 1-3-1 and then just scaling into the end game with Karthus. So they're basically going to say, Karthus, you farm. Yone's going to push one lane. Aatrox is going to push the other. Yone's presumably going to look for the Fiora. Fiora's going to look for the Aatrox. And they're going to try to find these windows to go in. Fiora is a good pick in the side lane against either of those. But Yone has a little bit more angle for counterplay. I like this ward that they got down. I'm surprised the AD carry did it, though. This is actually this is an interesting adaptation. They always fight over this bush, right? So pressing back, dropping the ward, and getting a sweeper, and then you turn on the sweeper to fight for vision in this bush. Now, Leona actually went for the sweeper, but it is Braum. So you have this issue where Braum's just stronger than you in this fight if it breaks out. So she's unable to take down the ward even while they go for it. But that's a mistake already from Karthus on the jungle clear. You want that first one to hit just the big guy. Otherwise, you end up spending a little bit too long on that big camp. He is kiting the camp over all the way. Well done, Karthus. 211 is actually a pretty good pace. You can hit the big raptor right here. Over that wall, you hit the big raptor isolated. Then you hit the whole crew. Now you start kiting. As you're killing this camp, you should actually aggro red. So right here, you should... Nope. All right. Another small mistake. You want to hit that red, turn on your E, and you'll hit both camps. It'll be enough to kill the large Crimson Raptor, and then you can keep on going. So all of these things, right, these seconds add up for Karthus. It's very, very important that you stay on task. One of the tricks you can also do with his E is it deals its iteration of damage as you turn it on and as you turn it off. So you should always be cycling it on, off, on, off. There's like a half-second delay that you can use, or sorry, that you have to use. But with that window, every time it's up, you should be looking to press your E, turn it on, turn it off. All right, they get the read that Viego's trying to match, so Karthus is actually going to go for a fast back instead of going for the Scuttle Crab. This is because if you go for Scuttle, then you have to use Smite early, and if you use Smite early and Viego shows up, then you're in a lot of trouble. So Karthus instead going to go for the respawns on the top side. It's going to go for the Scuttle Crab on the North River, and then cycle back into his jungle and just do a second reverse clear. Fiora and Aatrox. Aatrox does have plenty of game early, but once you get 3 points in Fiora and you've got the riposte, she's got multiple tools to stop either the stuns or the chains, and she can use either of them as windows to get a guaranteed riposte off, especially once the chains, if the chains of corruption hit. Like right here, she can riposte. You can actually dash forward and riposte, and basically that will still try to tether you back. And as long as you're still in there, you're going to get the riposte proc. I like Broken Blade limit testing right here. Now Karthus needs to press the rest of this wave in because they have a 10 minion to 6. They're just going to crash this wave all the way. But Fiora is actually totally fine with this. This little window, Aatrox might have been a little bit stronger. Aatrox is stronger on first shop as well. So Fiora is basically going to get a better first shop, albeit slightly later. She's going to have 10 more CS, maybe even more, depending on whether or not she picks up this second wave. She's already got 14 and working on 15. It looks like she's actually, yeah, look at that, 17 minion advantage, and the wave is going to be stuck here for her teleport, totally safe. She's going to be strong, probably looking at, we got 1300. It's going to be like double longsword and Sheen or something. No, we go for Sheen, refillable. She must have missed a cannon. She couldn't have had that much gold then. 35. I guess it's just too early in the game. It's got to be too early. But Sheen, refillable, and control ward. All right, the Braum getting the roaming timing over here. Aphelios getting solo XP in the bot lane. Big deal for Aphelios being a spellcasting AD carry. You want to get those extra levels. Cassie trying to bait out the roam from the Braum. Braum actually staying put. Now this is an aggressive wave for the Fiora. Riposte is down. Ooh, this is a big diff right there. Caps, mid diff. Nice play by the Zoe there. Once you hit that sleep, boom, he's done. Something you can do as a Yone, if any champion that has a dash, as the Drowsy's counting down, if you cast your dash while the Drowsy sets in, you will actually move, but the shimmer will show up over here even though you dashed here. And so when a Zoe's trying to hit you from darkness, for example, she will aim at the wrong spot. So a little trick you can do if you have any kind of dash in your kit like Yone does, and you're out of vision, you can actually deny Zoe that little play. All right, so let's see. We've got Zoe with an early lost chapter, but Yone does spike hella hard on Berserker's Greaves. How does she hit this? Wow, how did she get that around the minion? Flashing forward, getting the extra damage from the flash. Boom, popping everything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think he's got the Q cooldown. Viego with the early dragon, of course, one of the champions that can take it level 5 very easily, very healthy, very quickly. Somehow the Leona Misfortune lane does not have priority here. Leona was trying to match the Braum roams. I'd much rather try to secure the advantage over Aphelios. Ooh, Aphelios, here we go. This is what we're talking about. Stronger on first item. 2 longswords, better purchase than a Sheen. Sheen, most overrated first purchase in the game, unless you're Fizz. And not because you should buy Lichbane. Just sit on the Sheen. Because you're all about all-in combos and backing out. The amount of times that you're doing extra damage to the minions and everything else, 2 longswords is just better. Presumably, she's going for Divine Sunder, so I would always recommend 2 longswords over a Sheen purchase. Look at this bot wave. They picked bot wave to win. They picked Leona Misfortune to win into Aphelios. And yet, look at where their control ward is. All the way back behind the Krugs. Yeah, see, that's a mistake by Broken Blade. That's not where you use the riposte. You're supposed to use the riposte as the tether is canceling you back in. You don't want to actually hit to stop it from hitting you. You want it to hit you, and then you dash forward and you riposte at the Aatrox so that you not only cancel any return damage, but you get the stun guaranteed. Slight misplay. Well, not even slight. Huge misplay from Broken Blade. Fiora going for some deep wards. Wow. Second control ward purchase. Moved the control ward from the river into the blue pit. Now, we're always a fan of getting deeper control ward vision. But that's investing 150 into that. That's a big price to pay, especially after you gave up first blood. Or not first blood, but first kill in the lane. Now, interesting play here. They are pushing because they're trying to support the Jankos. If Jankos were not invading, then they would hold that freeze there. There would be no reason to go. Oh, but a miscommunication here. They start rotating out. Cast your R. Cast your R. Does he have it? No, he doesn't have it. Looks like he just cast it before. You can actually use your R to disjoint the incoming damage. But yeah, so you had 4 minions, including the cannon, sitting in bot wave. Braum and Aphelios are winning this lane, in fact, crushing this lane. They could just sit on that frozen negative state and completely win this. But because Jankos was in the southern quadrant, they felt the need to push the bot wave. This means that they had to rotate, right? The call is take that wave and rotate. What they could have done is just left the cannon there, tanking up all the minions. They could have taken the casters. Okay, this nice back interruption by Targamas, taking a page out of Hillsang's book. But basically, they canceled the freeze and said, we're going to come help you. But then they stopped and Aphelios came back to the second wave. Jankos moved out and then moved back in. That got him killed. So a little miscommunication. These small things, you don't know how they matter until they matter. But at that level, that little miscommunication, that's a big deal. So you see the team right here. Jankos should be leaving. The play was for them to push so that they could get him out. What is he doing staying in there? You know that Karthus sees you, right? And because Karthus sees you, you've got Yone and bot lane and a Karthus going on you with, at best, a Braum to help you out. Nice play. Q forward, flash ult. As the Zoe's passing the wall here, very importantly, so that she can't dodge it. All right, Fiora able to express a little bit of this lead. The longsword right here. Once she gets the first full item, she'll be totally fine. Divine Sunder. She's got 97 health. She should have it. Nope, not quite. I wonder if she's short by 90 gold. If she's short by 90, then it's the refillables' fault. It's kind of bizarre. I feel like she should have had it by now. But again, if she was missing that first iteration, it might have been because of some amount of cannon misses. We have the early Everfrost. Nice fake by Caps. They're giving all the gold that they can to Flocked on Aphelios. They're going to keep bringing this into the Misfortune. Ugh. They did pick Braum to try to cancel out Misfortune ultimates. Both times so far has been very late on the wall. Oh, there is an interaction. Yone, all right, I forgot about this. Who knows if it's a bug? It seems like it should be. But if you cast your E, even if you get slept, drowsy, if you cast your E, it just cancels out the drowsy portion of Zoe's sleep. And it's something that feels like it's completely broken, like it should not be in the game. It seems like it's a bug, but it's there and they haven't touched it. And so Yone gets picked into Zoe all day long. The question whether or not they know that, they probably do. Most times these players know the iterations like that. They're just like, oh, this is a specific champion interaction. They know it this way. It does feel like a bug. It shouldn't, in my opinion, it should not work that way. But the Spirit Rush from Yone has always canceled the Drowsy. All right, let's see. They're going to go lane swap. Normally, you do this with the Rift Herald. You have the Herald, you're trying to move it. They did already break bot lane turret, so notice that they're going to put Fiora there. They're going to put Aphelios in the top lane, basically as far away from Fiora as possible. You want to get that one person far away. Zoe's still in control of the middle. You want Zoe middle for as long as possible because her roams are the best. Aphelios, Braum going to hold this down. Braum, of course, can get the shield to cancel out Misfortune's continuation to Leona. But we'll see how much pressure they decide to put in here. Oh, Caps can get this bubble right over here. Yone taking a great angle to pass it all. But look at that burst damage from Caps. Hello. And we get the sleep. Do they know? Boom, with the flash. Extra activation. Did we get Stridebreaker? Boom. Caps just popping off on the Zoe. And look at that. Fiora coming over with the teleport. Got the wave out far enough. Aatrox not going to risk taking any turret. He's instead going to go towards Krugs. I'm actually not a huge fan of this play because this leaves Karthus with actually nothing to do. Karthus might not be a bad time for you to just cast your ultimate. If he's level 10, then I take it back. He's sitting on Luden's Echo. All right, so there's a major issue with Luden's that you only get the proc on the nearest champion to you. Basically, the first champion you hit. All right, Broken, why aren't you reposting that? That is why Fiora counters Aatrox. What are you doing? The Luden's Echo proc is only going to work on the first champion you hit, whereas Landry's Anguish gets it on everybody. That being said, Spell Pen is going to be very strong in this comp that has 3 AD champions. Basically going to be dealing true damage. Most likely, these going to follow up with Sork Shoes and with Shadow Flame. So you're essentially dealing full damage. You might see a couple Hex Drinkers just as a way to counter the extra damage. But more likely you see like stopwatches and maybe even a Banshee's Veil from a Zoe. Because the Banshee's Veil will be positive against a Leona ultimate and a Yone ultimate. Oh, hello. Look at that damage. What is this? Oh, holy crap. Cassie. E flash RQ combo getting everything in on Flakked. This guy's massive. Take note of the build, by the way. No rush into a mythic, right? You get Berserker's Greaves, you get Zeal. That helps you reach the critical breakpoints of your auto attack threshold. Then starts building into the rest of it, right? Going to go into Immortal Shield Bow, then finish the Heal Cut, Mortal Reminder, then probably going into Death Stance. Doesn't need to go Infinity Edge, although it is still good. A lot of people say like, oh, it's over-indexing on the crit, but you still get returns on the attack damage, and once you get the amplification on the extra crit damage, it is actually pretty good. But most people are going Death Stance. Look at that, so sick. Most people go into defensive itemization after the inexpensive path to 100 crit. I personally like the Bloodthirster in Gale Force build even better. Most times Yone is going to 100 to 0 on most champions, so Heal Cut not very relevant. But by going Bloodthirster and Gale Force, you get that extra movement speed. Some people are even going Ghost on Yone to make sure that you can ensure that extra reach, but Gale Force would cover that for you. I do think it's the best build for him. Oh, Zoe giving up her position. Boom! Misfortune Ultimate, they get the huge pat. Nice, I like that. The Karthus starting to cast the R, knowing that the Zhonya's is going to time out. They get 2 kills, they give the dragon. So this has been G2's thing. Now this game they also got Herald. But this has been G2's thing. They've decided as a team that they play better giving Herald and taking dragons. And they did in their run in summer split, right? They went, what was it, 11-0 or 9-0, something, some ridiculous run, consecutive wins to win the the spring split. We'll see if it ends up paying off here. Fiora, Viego, Zoe, Aphelios, I mean, they've got plenty of scaling, and now with 3 dragons, the fact that they didn't have to work hard for any of them means that they do get to fork order for the rest of this game. They get to pressure. They say, hey, you want to give us Soul for free? Or do you want to give us Baron? And the best play generally is going to be Aatrox taking the Dragon solo, but the best counter is to just stick Fiora on Dragon solo and send the other 4 champions to the Baron. Nice job by the Yone. Countering the CC and all-in damage by casting his own ultimate. You have a predestined Zoe arrival point. Yone just crushing into it. This pick is absolutely crushing right now. Despite how well Cass is playing, and now at this point of the game, Yone is just taking over. Ooh, ulting out, taking the risky path. Fiora's there, but not in time. Fiora does get to take this damage now. This is Divine Sunder, no Ravenous. Ooh, the stun. No Ravenous does not mean, it does mean that she can't go with complete impunity into these minion waves to heal up. We might actually see a Phantom Dancer here instead of a Mortal Reminder from Aatrox. Although I doubt it based on the Aphelios Viego Fiora picks. So I was saying, we've got the 3 dragons, right? So you basically send Fiora into bot lane. You push out that lane. You send numbers into top lane. Split the map as far as you can. And then you converge, right? You slide everyone into the rivers. The 4 stack puts pressure on Baron. Fiora puts pressure on Soul. If your order, the timing of Karthus hitting 16 is about the same as Elder Dragon spawning. So one thing that they can do is actually give the dragon in 2 minutes, 23 seconds. They can give dragon. They don't need to put any pressure there. You seed it. Enemy team, you hope, puts too much of their pressure onto dragon and actually gives up. Oh my god, the Sione's getting hit again. But not enough continuation. They're staying on it. Oh my goodness. Really? This is risking everything. You didn't need this. Karthus should want to die first so he can max out the damage. This is so bad. You did not need to put all this pressure on here. They're saying we need Baron off the map because we're going to get forked. But honestly, this is one of those situations where Karthus 16 is going to coincide with the arrival of Elder Dragon. Let's see, he's got to go all in. Hallelujah. Burst damage gets him. So you give the Soul. You hope they put too much pressure there. Maybe you get to sneak Baron. But even if you don't, you just give Soul and it's fine. Soul is not the be-all and end-all of games. Especially if you can use that window, those extra 2 minutes to get better back timings, to get full itemization. Other team might have to back. You get to take Northern Quadrant. If they recall, you even get an opportunity to take the Baron. But even if you lose it, everything on your team will spike. Aatrox will hit 16. Karthus will hit 16 in time for the Elder to spawn. I dislike this play by Cassie. A little bit too cute. A little bit. Your team takes too much damage while you jump out there. Going into that pit, you do feel pretty good with Karthus, dying first again, but Viego resets are worth more than Karthus dying, right? So let's see what they're going to take. They're going to play the map in one quadrant. They're going to use the southern quadrant, look at the 4 control wards they place down. Aphelios is going to push in mid with the cover of Braum, right? You see Braum, Zoe kind of hovering in this middle area. Braum, Zoe work together to cancel the vision in this area as Fiora and Viego push up. Not much the enemy team can do. Misfortune Ultimate is very good at clearing a Baron empowered wave, but she doesn't want to waste it if there's a Braum nearby. By canceling out the vision, they're securing that they won't know if Braum's there. But as soon as they get the intel that Braum's not there, they should basically ult this wave and then go engage in middle. G2 is actually bringing all 5 champions over here. This is a little bit of overplay. Karthus turning on the E appropriately. They should defend this with their lives. Misfortune should just ult this. Misfortune ults, then while Braum puts the wall up, their entire enemy team will try to hide behind the Braum wall. That's a perfect situation for Yone to go ER and just dive through the lines and try to cut through everything. I think a missed opportunity. Did not need to give that up. Misfortune holding on to her ultimate is just not good. Suboptimal play. So now they have issues, right? So now this is soul down and bottom inhibitor down. The Baron's going to spawn in 3 minutes. And they're going to have to deal with supers in the bot wave. So this is going to be a very difficult situation. They can put 4 middle. They can put Fiora top. No one on the team can really match into the Fiora. They're going to struggle to get some of their vision back in the southern quadrant, although there's really no reason for G2 to be here anymore. So you want to go through and get the control wards out, but apart from that, the other wards aren't going to matter much. So G2, we send 4 to top, and we send Fiora to mid. Fiora is very safe alone. That's why it's good to have your bruiser in the mid lane. Braum, Viego, Zoe are going to look to take control of this middle of this western quadrant. They're going to suffocate the vision. You see the first line by Braum, very safe, right? Just minimal vision here. Could they be in these spots as they walk up? And as the waves approach, now they're going to be willing to step further up. Braum's actually willing to sit here to make sure that he can get the shield. Great ward. Full range, keeping it out of Misfortune's range. Now they can start hunting with Zoe, trying to get these Sleepy Trouble bubbles. Ooh, a little bait out by Cassie. Fiora's taking the fight. The rotation comes over. Ulting out. Everything. All right, they rotate it over. They lose the wave. They bring in the middle wave now. Supers are approaching. No reason why Order can't take this fight. They're down in ultimate, but they should be going ham. Go in. Everyone. In. Make it work. Dodge. Dip, duck, dive, dodge. Karthus steps back to get the ultimate off, but dies in the process. Holy crap, Zoe just rocking that Karthus from long range. Flakked trying to get the ult Gale Force combo. Braum stepping up to block everything. Holy crap, G2 plays that perfectly to take everything. They're going to annihilate this bot wave. They've got 2 supers coming in the bot wave. They're not going to waste any time in the other waves. You're just going to get a recall from Broken Blade because he's got teleport. You're going to see him teleport to the minion to keep it alive longer. And he's just going to come in with extra items to secure the win here. Not a necessary step. It's just a Leona. You don't actually need to do this step to come back in. But he wants to come in with the extra stats to come in. Flawless endgame fighting. A lot of mistakes. A lot of missed opportunities from Order to take these fights and take the all-ins. Going forward, Karthus needs to be willing to die, right? You just step in, dive in, flash forward if you need to. Get that pool in the middle of the team. They're kind of stuck there, right? They're in the base ahead of the minions. Can't escape through mid-wave. There's no wave there to protect them. Couple chances that Order could have taken, but well fought by G2. And Caps, man, capping people left and right that game. Yone, the counter pick, was pretty solid. Couple missed opportunities. Didn't seem like he knew the trick with the Spirit Rush. And that's that. G2 off to a 1-0 start. All right, that's going to be it for me tonight. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it surreal. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps the channel out a lot. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep it surreal. Peace.